Isn't it crazy that almost every AI tool, every coding tutorial, every big technology platform somehow connects back to English? It's like the future itself is speaking one language. Hello, my amazing students, and welcome again to your channel. My name is Clara, and today we're going to talk about something that is becoming more important every single year: the connection between English, technology, and artificial intelligence. Because many people still think English is just another school subject, but in today's world, English has become deeply connected to innovation, to AI, to online learning, to global communication. And honestly, if you want to understand the future, English is becoming one of the most powerful tools you can have. So today, we're going to explore why English matters so much in technology and AI, and how this one skill can completely change your opportunities in the modern world. There's something happening in the world right now, quietly, but very fast. Artificial intelligence is changing the way people work. Technology is changing the way people learn. And communication is becoming more global every year. But inside all of that, there's one thing connecting almost everything together: English. Now, this doesn't mean you can't succeed without English. Of course you can. But the reality is, English gives you faster access to the modern world. And in technology, speed matters. Now let's think about this honestly. When a new AI tool appears, what language is usually used first? English. When developers release tutorials, what language are they mostly in? English. When people discuss new technology online, what language dominates those conversations? English again. And this creates something very important: access. Now here's the key idea. Technology moves fast, and people who can understand information quickly adapt faster. That's why English has become so valuable in this new era, because it connects you directly to information, without waiting, without translation, without depending on someone else to explain things to you later. Now let's go deeper. Think about artificial intelligence itself. Most AI tools today are trained heavily on English content: articles, books, research papers, videos, discussions. That's why many AI systems perform best in English. And people who understand English can use those systems more effectively. Now here's something very interesting. Many people think English is only useful for speaking with foreigners. But today, English is becoming a tool for learning technology itself. Programming, AI, business, content creation, online education. All of these worlds are deeply connected to English. Now let's make this practical. Imagine two people who want to learn about AI. The first person only depends on translated information. The second person can directly access English tutorials, interviews, research, and communities. After 1 year, who understands the field more deeply? Usually the second person. Not because they are smarter, but because they had faster access to knowledge. That changes everything. Now here's something deeper. English also changes confidence inside technology. Because technology can feel intimidating. New terms, new systems, new tools. But when you understand the language around them, you feel more connected, less dependent, more capable. And capability changes behavior. Now let's talk about coding for a moment. Even programming languages themselves are built around English words. Functions, commands, systems, documentation, everything connects back to English structure. So when someone understands English better, learning programming often becomes easier too. Now here's something very important. The future will reward people who can learn continuously because technology keeps changing. AI keeps evolving. New tools appear constantly, and English helps you stay connected to that evolution. Without it, you may still learn, but often more slowly, with more limitations. Now, let's go even deeper. English also allows participation, not just learning, participation. You can join discussions, communities, projects, global conversations, and participation creates opportunities. Now imagine someone who understands AI tools and also communicates confidently in English. That combination becomes powerful because they are not limited to one local environment anymore. They can learn globally, work globally, connect globally, and that changes the scale of possibility. Now here's something emotional. Many people feel afraid of the future. AI, automation, technology changing jobs. And honestly, that fear is understandable. But learning English can reduce that fear because it gives you access to adaptation. And adaptation is survival in the modern world. Now imagine yourself a few years from now. Technology is even more advanced. AI is everywhere. And instead of feeling disconnected, you understand what's happening. You can learn new tools, follow global conversations, use AI effectively, because you invested in communication early. That's powerful. Now here's the deeper truth. English is no longer just a language skill. It's becoming a digital survival skill, a learning skill, an access skill. And people who understand that early will have a huge advantage in the future. There's something very interesting happening right now in the AI era. The people who learn the fastest are not always the smartest people. They are often the people with the fastest access to information. And English changes access completely. Now, think about how technology moves today. New AI tools appear almost every week. New updates, new systems, new ideas, and most of them are introduced in English first. That means something important. If you understand English, you are learning in real time. But if you depend only on translations, you are often learning later. And in fast-moving industries, later matters. Now, here's the key idea. The future belongs to people who can adapt quickly, not people who memorize everything, because knowledge changes constantly now. But adaptation, learning quickly, understanding trends early, that creates advantage, and English accelerates adaptation. Now, let's make this practical. Imagine a new AI tool becomes popular today. Immediately, people start making tutorials, guides, videos, communities, courses, discussions, mostly in English. So someone who understands English can instantly explore it, experiment with it, learn from it, use it. But someone waiting for translated content often enters the conversation much later. That delay becomes a disadvantage over time. Now, here's something deeper. Learning speed affects confidence. When you can quickly understand new technology, you feel more capable, more connected, less left behind. And confidence changes behavior. Confident people experiment more. They try new tools, they explore new ideas. And exploration creates opportunities. Now, let's talk about AI specifically. Artificial intelligence is not just a tech thing anymore. It's entering everything: education, business, content creation, design, communication, even daily productivity. And many people are still treating English like an optional school subject, while technology is quietly making it more valuable every year. Now, here's something very interesting psychologically. Your brain learns faster when information feels direct, without interruption, without translation, because translation slows processing. You read something in English, then mentally convert it, then try to understand it. That process consumes energy. But when you start understanding directly in English, learning becomes faster, cleaner, more natural. And that changes how quickly you absorb knowledge. Now, imagine two learners again. One person constantly translates. The other begins thinking more directly in English. After some time, the second person learns technology concepts faster because their brain is spending less energy converting language and more energy understanding ideas. That difference becomes huge over years. Now, here's another powerful point. English also gives you access to global communities, and communities accelerate learning. Think about it. Sometimes one comment, one discussion, one explanation can save you hours of confusion. But communication creates access to those moments. Now let's make this emotional for a second. Many people feel overwhelmed by technology because everything changes so fast. But imagine understanding the language behind the change. Suddenly, the future feels less scary, more understandable, more accessible. Because information reduces fear, and English increases information access. Now here's something deeper. People who combine English plus technology skills often create opportunities for themselves that didn't exist before. Freelancing, remote work, online businesses, international collaboration, content creation, AI-assisted productivity. And many of those paths begin with one thing: the ability to understand and communicate globally. Now let's go even further. English doesn't only help you consume information, it helps you create. Because once you understand global conversations, you can participate in them. You can build ideas, share ideas, create projects. And creation changes everything. Now imagine yourself years from now. You can use AI tools naturally. You understand global discussions. You can learn directly from world-class resources. You feel connected to the future instead of afraid of it. That transformation begins with something very simple: staying connected to English consistently. Now here's the final idea for this part. The AI era is rewarding people who learn quickly, and English is becoming one of the most powerful tools for faster learning. Not because English is magical, but because access is powerful, and access changes futures. Let's talk about something that is changing very fast in the modern world. For a long time, people believed success came mostly from memorization. Memorizing information, memorizing facts, memorizing answers. And in the past, that worked because information was limited, harder to access, harder to find. But now, AI can give information in seconds. Technology can explain almost anything instantly. And because of that, the value of pure memorization is slowly decreasing. Now, here's the important part. If AI can already provide information quickly, then what becomes valuable? Communication, understanding, adaptation, creativity. And English connects to all of those things. Now, let's think about this honestly. Today, many people can ask AI a question, but not everyone knows how to ask good questions. Not everyone knows how to communicate ideas clearly. Not everyone can understand complex explanations in English. And that creates a new type of advantage. The advantage is no longer only, what do you know? It's becoming, how well can you learn, communicate, and adapt? That shift changes everything. Now here's something very interesting. The people who benefit most from AI are often not the people with the highest memory. They are the people who know how to interact with information effectively, how to search, how to understand, how to communicate clearly, how to think critically. and English strengthens all of those abilities. Now let's go deeper. Imagine someone using AI tools every day, writing, researching, learning, creating. Most advanced prompts, tutorials, and discussions are still heavily centered around English. So someone who understands English directly can often use these systems much more effectively, not because they are smarter, but because they communicate better with the technology. Now here's something powerful. AI is making technical skills more accessible, but communication skills are becoming more valuable. Because when everyone has access to information, the difference becomes who can use it well, who can explain ideas clearly, who can connect globally, and English plays a major role there. Now let's make this practical. Imagine two people using the same AI tool. The first person struggles with English. They use very short, unclear prompts. They don't fully understand the results. They miss many possibilities. The second person communicates clearly in English. They understand instructions. They refine ideas. They explore deeper. Over time, the second person gets much more value from the same technology. That difference compounds. Now here's something deeper psychologically. When you understand English, you feel more in control of technology, less dependent, less confused. And control increases confidence. Confidence increases experimentation. And experimentation accelerates growth. Now let's talk about creativity. In the AI era, people who combine creativity plus communication plus technology will become extremely valuable. And English sits in the center of that combination because English allows you to access global inspiration, understand global trends, collaborate internationally, create for larger audiences, and larger audiences create larger opportunities. Now here's something emotional. Many people fear AI because they think technology will replace humans. But honestly, the future will likely reward humans who know how to work with technology, not against it. And communication becomes one of the most important human skills in that future. Now imagine this. You can use AI tools confidently. You can learn new systems quickly. You can understand tutorials directly. You can communicate ideas globally. That combination creates freedom, not just professionally, mentally too. Because you no longer feel disconnected from the modern world. You participate in it. Now here's the deeper truth. English is no longer only helping people learn English. It's helping people connect to the future itself. That's why this skill matters more every year. Now let's bring everything together. The AI era is changing what society values. Less focus on memorizing information, more focus on communication, adaptability, and learning speed. And English strengthens all three. So when you learn English today, you are not only learning vocabulary, you are preparing yourself for a world that is becoming more connected, more digital, and more global every single year. Let's talk about something that feels almost unreal today. Because a few years ago, many opportunities were limited to a small group of people. People with money, connections, access. But now, technology and AI are changing that. And when you combine AI with English, something powerful happens. Ordinary people suddenly gain access to extraordinary possibilities. Now think about this. A person with a laptop, internet, basic AI tools, and good English skills can now do things that once required entire companies. Writing, design, research, content creation, learning new skills, building online businesses, communicating globally. That shift is massive, and many people still don't fully realize it. Now here's the key idea. AI is becoming a multiplier. It increases what humans can do, but English increases how effectively you can use AI. That combination becomes extremely powerful. Now let's make this real. Imagine someone who understands English well enough to use AI confidently. They can learn skills faster, create content faster, understand tutorials directly, communicate internationally, explore opportunities globally. And because AI reduces technical barriers, English becomes even more valuable, because communication becomes the center. Now, here's something very interesting. In the past, you needed permission to create opportunities. A company, a system, a gatekeeper. But today, a person can learn online, build online, work online, and grow online independently. And English opens many of those doors. Now, let's go deeper. AI is also reducing fear for learners. Why? Because people now have tools that can help them. Practice speaking, correct mistakes, translate ideas, explain concepts, generate examples, build confidence. And most of those systems work best in English. So English no longer feels isolated from technology. They are becoming connected. Now imagine a young learner today. They improve their English consistently. At the same time, they learn how to use AI tools. That person is building two future-focused skills together: communication and adaptation. That combination creates massive long-term advantage. Now here's something emotional. Many people feel powerless about the future. They think, the world is changing too fast. Technology is too advanced. I'm already behind. But honestly, this may be one of the best moments in history to learn, because information has never been more accessible. The problem is not lack of information anymore, it's access and communication. And English helps solve both. Now let's make this practical again. Imagine someone who learns English and AI together for 2 years. Not perfectly, just consistently. Small daily progress. By the end of those 2 years, their life may look completely different. Different confidence, different opportunities, different mindset, maybe even different income. Because skills compound, and future-focused skills compound the fastest. Now here's another important truth. You don't need to become a programmer to benefit from AI. You don't need to become a tech expert. You simply need the ability to learn, adapt, and communicate. That's what creates opportunity now, and English strengthens all of it. Now let's go deeper psychologically. When people feel connected to the future, they feel hopeful. But when they feel disconnected, they feel fear. English reduces that distance because suddenly you understand the conversations shaping the world. You understand the tools. You understand the direction things are moving. And understanding creates confidence. Now imagine yourself years from now. AI is part of everyday life. Technology continues evolving, and instead of feeling lost, you feel capable. You know how to learn. You know how to communicate. You know how to adapt. That future starts with small, daily effort today. Not perfection, not talent, just consistent connection to learning. Now here's the final idea for this part. AI is changing what's possible for ordinary people, and English is becoming one of the keys that unlocks those possibilities. That's why this skill matters so much now, not just academically, but practically, financially, personally, and globally. There's something very important happening right now in the world. And honestly, many people still don't fully see it yet. We are entering a future where the ability to learn, adapt, communicate, and connect globally will matter more than ever before. And in the middle of all that change, English keeps appearing again and again. Not because it's perfect, not because other languages are not important, but because English became deeply connected to technology, AI, education, business, and global communication. And that connection is shaping the future. Now here's something I want you to understand deeply. Learning English today is not only about speaking another language, it's about increasing your possibilities, your access, your confidence, your ability to participate in the modern world. Now think about this. A few years ago, many people thought AI was only for experts, programmers, scientists, big tech companies. But today, ordinary people are using AI every day. Students, creators, freelancers, small businesses, language learners, and the people benefiting the most are often the people who can understand and communicate globally. That's why English matters so much now. Now, let's be honest for a moment. Will English alone guarantee success? No, of course not. But it gives you something extremely powerful: leverage. It multiplies opportunities. It accelerates learning. It expands access. And those things change lives over time. Now, here's something emotional. Maybe right now, your English still feels imperfect. Maybe you still hesitate when speaking. Maybe you still feel far from fluency. But don't underestimate what small daily learning can become in the future. Because every sentence you learn, every video you understand, every conversation you try, is slowly building a new version of you. A version that is more connected to the world, more adaptable, more prepared for the future. Now imagine yourself years from now. Technology has evolved even more. AI is everywhere. And instead of feeling afraid or disconnected, you feel capable. You can learn new systems quickly. You can communicate internationally. You can understand global conversations. You can create opportunities instead of waiting for them. That confidence changes everything. Now, here's something deeper. The future will not only reward technical skills, it will reward people who can continue learning throughout life. Because the world will keep changing. And English helps you stay connected to that change. Not once, continuously. Now, let's go even deeper. Many people are waiting for the perfect moment to improve their English. But honestly, there is no perfect moment. There is only repetition, small daily effort, consistency. And over time, that consistency becomes transformation. Now, think about how powerful this really is. One skill can improve your communication, your learning speed, your access to technology, your opportunities, your confidence, your understanding of the world. That's much bigger than vocabulary. Now here's the final truth. The people who adapt early usually benefit the most later. And learning English now, especially in the age of AI, may become one of the smartest long-term decisions you ever make. Not because it changes your life overnight, but because it slowly changes your direction. And direction shapes destiny. Now let me leave you with something simple. Don't learn English only for exams. Don't learn it only because people tell you to. Learn it because the world is becoming more connected every year. Learn it because communication creates freedom. Learn it because access creates opportunity. And learn it because your future may depend more on adaptability than anything else. So keep listening, keep speaking, keep growing, even slowly, because every small step you take today may open doors you cannot even imagine yet. And one day, you may look back and realize, learning English didn't just teach you a language. It connected you to the future.